Alright, can you believe it? I'm back on Gran Turismo 7. I'm really hyped for Gran Turismo at the moment. And I had a very dramatic race. You're probably going to be impressed by my driving in this race. You're going to be disappointed by my driving in this race. You're going to be surprised by the things that happen in this race. So this is my favourite circuit in Gran Turismo, whether that's GT Sport or GT7. It's Monza. It's a no chicane variant. But we're doing it in road cars, so we're in this Hyundai Genesis road car here. No turbo on it, and the gearing's quite interesting because when you're not in the slip, through here you're in 5th gear, but in the slip, interesting things can happen. A couple of tips when you're driving cars like these, often better to be in a higher gear, so keeping it in 3rd through this chicane. We're going to try and get past the 8-ball car here. Let's have a look. Side by side, 3rd gear. You can look at the radar just underneath me there, and we've got the move done. So looking pretty good already. And like I said, this is my first race back in Gran Turismo 7 for a long time. Definitely my first race as a dad. And I'm just surprised. I'm sending it more than I've ever sent it before. So that's absolutely great. Now, at this moment in time, if the 2 drivers ahead are smart, they'll work together, because the slipstream is going to be absolutely huge here. And if the guy behind me is smart, he'll work with me. Now, it looks like I might get a track limit penalty for that. Let's see. Did I get one? Yes, I do. So I got a ½ a second track limit penalty, and that could be quite severe. So if you want to laugh at my driving, there you go, messing it up in Ascari. The guy behind now, I think he's even more incentivized to actually work with me because he's got nothing to lose. If he pushes me along, I'm going to drop out when I take my penalty, and he can take my position. I feel like a ½ a second penalty here is going to be quite extreme. Now, going down the straight, you can see the leaders I'm out of their slipstream, but they're not working together. They're battling, and Mr. Safari here is going to be an absolute G and do the bump drafting. That's going to give me a different problem, which is maybe I'm going to hit out of 5th gear now. Is he going to give me another bump, another boost? Let's see. This is all working together very sensible. Yeah, 158 miles an hour. We hit the limiter, but actually you want to lift off in this corner anyway, so I think it's better than going into 6th gear and then back again. I'd rather just stay in 5th gear, and now we're definitely in the orbit of these 2 front runners that are still battling as we come in 3rd gear, ride these curbs, try not to dip a wheel in the gravel on the left hand side because we'll lose a lot of speed by doing so. Then into Lesmo 1, can we close up down to 3rd gear, trying to get the weight transfer of the car pitched in. Really satisfying to drive these cars. Like, this combination is a lot of fun. Like, it's a huge amount of fun. And again, there, you don't want to drip a wheel into the gravel at all. You'll just lose so much momentum. In terms of the gear shifting, should be trying to rev out 4th a little bit. There we go. Not shifting early from 4th. That's just the way that this car works. And this time, can we go through Ascari? I should be doing this in 4th gear. So you see I've gone down to 3rd, but really I should be doing this in 4th, because you're going to see when I get on the power here on the exit, we're really losing a lot of torque in the engine. So now I'm going to take this penalty. Let's see how long a ½ second penalty knocks us out for. We'll keep it in 4th. And actually it's not as bad as I thought. Yes, we've lost a position here, but we're still going to be in the slipstream of the car ahead. And we're still definitely in the mix to win this race, which is really important. I like winning races, I like being the podium, whether I'm racing in real life or in sim racing or in simcade racing. And I don't really care if Gran Turismo 7 is simcade or sim racing or not. For me, it's racing, and that's what I like to do. So the lead is still all over the shop. We're going to be in a tidy position if we can keep the momentum, keep being consistent, because then we'll arrive with momentum. Sometimes when you arrive in the front pack with momentum, you can kind of cut your way through, take people by surprise. Now, before we get to the first corner, I want to say a big thank you to GT Omega for sponsoring this video. I'm actually using a GT Omega Prime rig in Gran Turismo in this video. So if you want to drive in the same rig as me, or you're just looking for new rigs, go to www.gtomega.com. Use my discount code KIRETH5 for an extra 5% off at checkout. Big thank you to GT Omega for sponsoring this video. There we go, a penalty has been given to the leader. So the leader has a penalty now. Now the dynamic of this race is super interesting. Like I promised you, what a great return to Gran Turismo. daily racing at its finest, I say. Also just a great daily race A, and SR and DR is on. So you have to take it a little bit more seriously. It's not the carefree thing you sometimes get with daily race A's. This is fantastic right now. By the way, if you're enjoying this, please do subscribe. I'll massively appreciate it. I'm just a guy here in my spare time making these videos for your enjoyment. And I know so many of you are already subscribed, you're absolute legends. Another penalty here through Ascari. What an interesting dynamic now. So the leader's going to take their penalty, and the guy in second place is now going to be, I would say, almost the pacemaker, because he's going to be leading us along, but we know that he's going to take a penalty. And it's a very interesting dynamic. Almost you're trapped if you're the leader here. You can't do anything else other than being rabbit. Like, what is there anything interesting you could do? Something interesting you could do, I guess, is drop into P2 here as a leader and just try and slow us all down so there'll be more of a pack. Or another interesting thing you could do, we're getting to like 5e chess now, but you could try and really battle with us. You have to drop back and battle, so maybe we're more likely to get track limit penalties. Because as it stands, if it was the last lap, on the penultimate lap, if it was the last lap here, then the leader wouldn't really stand a chance because they know they're going to take that massive penalty on the back straight. So, like I said, interesting dynamic as we come into what is actually here now, the first chicane. Again, trying to take it in third gear, trying to ride these curbs. Bit of counter steering going on, but it's a good job. I'm driving on my Logitech G Pro at the moment, which I have a guide for. As always, if you want guides for, I've got guides for Fanatec, Thrustmaster, Logitech wheels on Gran Turismo, and if you want to get faster at Gran Turismo and you're a beginner, go to www.getfasteronline.com after this video for the GT7 Beginner Masterclass. So now we're going to see that penalty. Let's try and take Ascari in fourth gear, because then we'll get a good exit. We want to put some pressure on Mr. Safari to hopefully make him make a mistake, because we would like to win this race. Get that cheeky dub would be awesome. You can see fourth gear, it feels like the revs are low, but I don't think it's as bad as it sounds. I'm someone that, I think with karting, because in karting, what I do single gear karting, you're so used to hearing the rev of the engine and associating that with performance that it's just ingrained in me to associate higher revs with higher performance. But that's not the case with road cars a lot of the time. Certainly in GT Sport, when I was going around here in the Corvette C7 or the Bugatti Veyron Group 4, where you're shifting up really early. So it's the last lap now. We're behind Mr. Safari. I think I'm actually in the best position right here. I think I'd rather be in this position than leading the race, because I like being the hunter. We've got different options. So 158, we're gonna, in fact, so earlier than that we were hitting the limiter, but remember, Mr. Safari doesn't have any slipstream. We've got the benefit of slip, more powerful than DRS, I'd say. But we try and go around the outside. We're almost on the grass. We don't want to hit him, obviously, and the more we battle, it's going to be great news for the drivers behind. Ooh, look at this. Terrible news. Very bad news. We shouldn't celebrate this at all. This is highly unfortunate that the driver ahead has a 1.5 second penalty. Such bad news. And in fact, maybe he is playing some 8D chess, because it looks like there he does let me go. So maybe he's going to try and pressure me into a mistake. Surely all I need to do now to get this win back on my return to Gran Turismo would be just to get through Ascari without a penalty. So coming in here, fourth gear. Feels like the revs are really low. 75 miles an hour, but the MPH climbing. So there is going to be Mrs. Safari. And now I don't like how close that Frenchman is behind. And if you remember at the beginning of this video, I said, you're going to praise some of my driving, you're going to laugh at some of my driving. And have a look at this for bottling it. Why on earth are we over here? Like, I bet he can't believe his luck. I bet he can't believe his luck. That is insane. That is insane. So please, yeah, subscribe out of pity maybe. But a P2, I think a P2 isn't bad on my return. You can see it's not the strongest lobby, so we needed to, there's pressure to get a result, otherwise we're going to lose DR. But yeah, back on Gran Turismo 7, let me know if you want to see more, and I will see you in the next video.